From the PEP Radio Newsroom, this is the Lunch Hour News Blast. LGBTQ Nation is reporting a U.S. District Court judge sided with the American Academy of Pediatrics late Sunday night in a ruling that temporarily restores $12 million in funding to the group. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. abruptly canceled previously awarded grants worth $18 million to AAP in December in what the Children's Health Group called a retaliatory move. This is a case about whether the federal government has exercised power in a manner designed to chill public health policy debate by retaliating against a leading and generally trusted pediatrician member professional organization focused on improving health of children, the judge continued. The Trump administration officials cited a range of reasons for the grant funding cuts, including American Academy of Pediatrics' use of identity-based language and references to racial disparities in pregnant people. But the cuts followed intense criticism by the AAP of Kennedy's changes to federal vaccine policy. The AAP is also a staunch supporter of gender-affirming care for trans youth. The American Academy of Pediatrics joined a chorus of condemnation last year over Kennedy's decision to stop recommending the COVID-19 vaccine for children, as well as Kennedy's firing of the Centers for Disease Control's panel of independent vaccine advisors. Kennedy replaced them with a hand-picked panel of vaccine skeptics. The majority of what we've seen from the secretary has been pretty clearly orchestrated in strategy to sow distrust in vaccines. Sean O'Leary, a physician who heads the American Academy of Pediatrics Infectious Diseases Committee, told the Washington Post last summer, "We make our recommendations based on what is in the best interest of the health of children." In response, Kennedy blasted the American Academy of Pediatrics' financial ties to pharmaceutical companies, demanding the organization disclose its corporate entanglements and conflicts of interest so that Americans may ask whether AAP's recommendations reflect public health interest or are, perhaps, just a pay-to-play scheme to promote commercial ambitions of AAP's big pharma benefactors. The funding withdrawal came at the same time Kennedy announced that hospitals across the U.S. would lose Medicare and Medicaid funding if they provided any form of gender-affirming care to trans minors. The 7 terminated grants for the American Academy of Pediatrics supported public health programs to prevent sudden, unexpected infant death, strengthen pediatric care in rural communities, and help teenagers facing substance abuse and mental health challenges, among others. The sudden withdrawal of the funds will directly impact and potentially harm infants, children, and youth, and their families in communities across the United States. Mark Del Monte, the American Academy of Pediatrics chief executive and executive vice president, said then. Well, Judge Howell wrote in her decision that AAP had shown it would likely suffer irreparable harm from the cuts, and the group had shown that the public interest was in favor of allowing the American Academy of Pediatrics programs to continue as their lawsuit moves forward. Once again, we took the administration to court to defend children, communities, and the Constitution, and once again, we won, said Skye Perryman, president and CEO of Democracy Forward, the legal group representing the American Academy of Pediatrics. The court shut down a dangerous attempt to use federal funding as a political weapon and punish pediatricians for speaking the truth, Perryman said. This ruling sends a clear message. No administration gets to silence doctors, undermine public health, or put kids at risk, and we will not stop fighting until this unlawful retaliation is fully ended. That is the news blast for this hour. If you are watching our news videos on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. PEP Radio is available on the Live 365 app, the PEP Radio page at paequality.com, Roku, and Alexa. Up next, we have the Meadville area weather forecast here on PEP Radio.